Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah, Kodash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders, great millstone, who teach very well. While not this truth from, and salutation out there to the hopeful lick, who continue to preach his word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And also shalom to all the men, women, and children who sincerely believe upon the words of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. And on today, just basically getting on the missiles are meant to be put to use, man. Because the weapons of the Lord indignation, they wasn't created in vain, man. Because people think nuclear war, that's a big talk. People think down the line it's going to be world peace and it's just going to be a big denuclearization and everything is going to go back to normal. No, man. Yahweh shall have already predestinated those things to be put into action. Even you go into the Oppenheimer, the movie that come out later on this month on the 31st, Lord willing, I'm going to go see it. But when you go into that, Oppenheimer, he made a bad quote. He said he had become the destroyers of worlds, man. Because he knew with that technology that he created back then, he knew what it would do, man. And what it would do would bring down his empire that they built up, man. The same thing that you use to get in power is going to be the same thing that Yahweh Shai going to use to get you guys out of power, man. Matter of fact, before I get this Isaiah 54, let's go to Psalms. This is the book of Psalms 7. And I'm going to jump down to verse 2. Matter of fact, verse 11, it says, the Most High judges the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. Yes, the Lord, he is angry with the wicked and the things that he see that the wicked is doing upon the planet Earth, man. Again, the philosophies pushing forth Allah and JC, pushing forth a way that's adverse into life. That's why the Lord is angry with you. Let's continue on. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. It's like if he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. And this is talking about those ICBM nuclear missiles in those silos, man. Because they already locked and loaded into that day, that hour, that time, and that second. The Lord is going to use them to destroy the third part of men. Because the missiles have already got their longitude and latitude codes, man. It's already missiles pointing at America. It's already missiles that's pointing at Israel. It's already missiles that's pointing at Iran, China, and Russia, and various parts throughout the whole planet Earth, man. It's not no coincidence that Russia have a city called Missile City now. Kim Jong-un, the people who they call Little Rocket Man, it's not no coincidence that he's testing missiles, man. For lack of better words, that's how you know that the Lord is going to actually have these things that come to use. And there's a such thing called MAD too, mutual aerial destruction. Because they knew soon as one missile shot off, it's going to be plenty more that come with it, man. Let's continue on though. It says, he hath also prepared for him the instruments of death. He ordaineth his arrows against the persecutors. And right there, because the Lord have already predestinated this thing to happen. Because the Lord have created Esau to be the sword. He's the sword because he used the sword to get into power. But it's also going to be the sword that get this guy out of power, man. Let's continue on though. It says, behold, he travailed with iniquity and have conceived mischief and brought forth falsehood. And this is the reason why nuclear destruction will reign upon this place. Continuing on, he made a pit and digged it and is falling into the ditch which he made. Yes, because ultimately Esau is going to fall into the wicked ways that he trusted in, man. It says, his mischief shall return upon his own head, and his violent dealing shall come down upon his own pate. And it shows you that it's going to be an aerial attack, an aerial thing that's going to take this devil out, man. And again, the Lord, he created this devil to create the missiles so they can actually come to action. The missiles wasn't created in vain. If they get produced and they get denuclearized and they just go into a museum 50 years down the line and say this the war between the Soviet Union and the United States, it's not going to be like that, man. That wouldn't make no sense. That means those weapons was made in vain. No, those weapons was actually made for the indignation of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah, man. Let's go ahead and get this in Isaiah 54, and I'm going to jump down to verse 16. It says, behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire. So Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah have created these different blacksmiths, man. Continuing on, these different scientists, these Timonites, the Germans, guys who created the atom bomb, the V2 rocket, all the way up into the ICBM nuclear missile, man. Hypersonic ICBM nuclear, all these people, the Lord put the spirit on them to create these things. Why? Because Esau, he was blessed with the sword, and the missiles is the sword perfected, It says, and bring forth an instrument for his work. I have created the waster to destroy. And that's what those missiles are meant for. Let's read this in the NIV. It says, see, it is I who have created the blacksmith. And that's what these modern day scientists is. Back in the ancient world, the blacksmith, they used to physically make the swords for the soldiers, man. They used to be on the site just in case a soldier needed a new sword or need his sword repaired. He'll be on site, But for lack of better words, it's the same thing with the blacksmiths today. Because again, that sword perfected comes in the form of an intercontinental ballistic missile, man. Let's continue on though. It says, see, it is I who have created the blacksmith, who fans the coals into flame and forges a weapon fit for his work. Yes, because the missiles is fit for the work of the destruction of America. It says, and it is I who have created the destroyer to wreak havoc. And Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, he have created Esau to create the missiles to wreak havoc upon the planet Earth, man. That's what you're going to get ready to see. The Lord is finna get ready to push forth a clean slate to take out the nation of Edom and to take out his wicked society, man. Let's get this real quick. This is the book of Job 18. Yep, Job 18, and I'm gonna start at verse 6. It said, matter of fact, I'm starting at verse 7. Salaki, it says, the steps of his strength shall be strength, and his own counsel shall cast him down. Because the same thing that you created is going to be the same thing the Lord's going to use to cast you down, man. For lack of better words, Esau is going to cheddar bob himself. He's going to shoot himself in the foot. Continuing on. For he is cast into a net by his own feet, and he walketh upon a snare. Yes. This devil, he's walking into his own trap, man. The wild coyote. He set up a trap to catch the birds, to catch the road runner. And he ended up stepping into his own trap, stepping into his own snare, man. And even the snares of those silos. You created those things, and it's going to be the same thing that's going to take you out. It says, the gem shall take him by his heel, and the robber shall prevail against him. And that's Yahweh Shai. Because Esau, you can't be slicker than a can of oil, man. It says, the snare is laid for him in the ground, and a trap for him in the way. And that's Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, laying the snare and the trap for Esau, man. Those different silos that's filled with the ICBM nuclear missiles, they are set in America in various parts of the earth, in various parts around the earth, man. And it's going to be a day, a time, an hour, and a second that the Lord's going to let them loose to destroy the third part of men. Because again, those weapons was actually to show the Lord indignation. This is the book of Isaiah 13 and verse 3. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones. I have also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people. And that's talking about the ICBM nuclear missiles, because the Lord, he's going to be able to control these missiles. You go into that in Joel, the 2nd chapter, You know how it says none shall break their rank, because the fury of the Lord is going to be in these devices, man. That's the, you're going to realize why his name is the Lord of hosts, or the Lord of armies. You read that in Exodus the 15th chapter. Yahweh Shema Shai, he's a man of war. Let's continue on though. It says, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms. It's like a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. Let's go into the word mustereth, man. Because let's see who's really in control of these weapons of mass destruction. You know, the word mustereth, it says to attend, muster. Let's look that up in the regular Google definition real quick. Muster, it says to assemble troops, especially for inspection or preparation for battle, and that's what those missiles for. Those missiles is actually going to be for the height of battle in World War III, because that's how World War III is going to end. You know, that's pretty much it right there. Let's go ahead and go back into the blue letter, Strong's H6485. Let's go down into the Strong's definition. It says to oversee. Yeah, how about Shema Shai? He's gonna oversee the missiles, man. And it says again, go up a little bit. It says to visit with friendly or hostile intent. And those missiles is going to visit Esau in a hostile intent, man. Because you visit Moab in a hostile intent. You visit Elam, Ishmael, and especially the nation of Israel in a hostile intent. And whatever you sow, that's what you're going to reap, Esau. You sow death, destruction, and missiles upon the planet Earth. That's going to be the same thing that the Lord is going to give you guys back. And rightfully so, man. Let's go ahead and go back into Isaiah 13, continuing on in verse 5. Because the Lord, he's going to muster, he's going to control and oversee the battle, man. That's why none is going to break their ranks. The Lord already got the longitude and latitude already set, man. And like the brother Tazai on the month he mentioned yesterday, he said, yeah, if you take the chip, you're gonna take a missile too, man. Let's continue on in verse 5 though. It says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven. And that's why it's called an intercontinental ballistic missile. They're gonna go to continent, man. Jumping over Britain, jumping over France. You know what I'm saying? Japan, China, jumping over Japan, Taiwan, North Korea. They're going to jump from continent to continent to get to their destination. So it says they come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord in the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. And that's what the missiles are made for, man. To destroy the whole land. And again, like the Lord, he destroyed the whole land with water back in the ancient world. He's going to destroy the whole land with fire in the world today. That's the balance of the Most High, man. Because again, the Lord is going to do a clean slate. And that's why the missiles must be put to use, man. You see the filth that's on the planet Earth? The sea islands of trash, the chemtrails. Not speaking upon the Monsantos and the things that Esau is pushing out. The earth is not bearing this fruit for Esau. But with those missiles hit the place, it's going to be a great reset. The earth is going to be refreshed again. So yeah, I pray this video was edifying. I want to say, call Halayim La, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash, Shalom, DTA, and the Bible.